Hey, what's up everybody? Welcome back to another 3D Hangout. You got myself, Noe Pedro Ruiz, designer here at Adafruit, and joining me every week is my brother Pedro. What's up, man?
What's up, everybody? I'm Pedro Ruiz, creative tech here at Adafruit, and every week we come to share 3D printing projects featuring electronics from Adafruit.
That's right, this is the show where we combine 3D printing, DIY electronics, and make inspirational projects for you. Pedro, it is 2016. Welcome to 2016, everybody. How you doing?
That's right, we're starting off nice and big, bigger projects, more ambitious.
I hope you guys had a good New Year's. I hope everything's going well for you guys. Setting some goals and things like that, as always.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. You want to start the show?
Yeah, every show.
We start off with a coupon code. Let's do that. Let's do the coupon code, guys. This week's project is Noe Pixel headphones, so we figured the coupon code makes sense if it had something to do with that. That makes sense. Pixel ears, that's what I thought it'd be, something special.
10% off when you use discount code Pixel ears.
Okay.
We still got some freebies.
Oh yeah? Tell me about the freebies.
You get half-size promo photo for orders over $100 or more.
Okay. And
we are still...
Trinket.
You can read there. It's still the same
There's some free stuff going on. If you want more details, adafruit.com/free is where you're going to get it. If you're a proud member of the NYC, guess what, Pedro? Same-day delivery.
Free? Not free. I'm sure it's more.
Not free. No. It's same-day delivery by Adabot himself.
That's right. You get your own Adabot delivering your packages now. That's
right.
Not true either.
No. We can make it happen.
We are starting off our...
We're going to do drones. They're going to deliver.
PT's looking into that, yeah.
He's going to do it for real.
But what we're really
just
doing...
like the contest. Just like the drone
newsletter,
contest.
3D printing newsletter coming soon
to
a mailbox.
Yes.
Email
Be sure to subscribe to the newsletter. We've been working hard on it. We had to work on getting...
Since October, we've been putting a ton of tips together.
Since October?
Yeah, I think that's when we started on it, yeah.
So it's got a lot of stuff.
It's a ton. Yeah.
Be sure to... All these cool tips that sort of get... they get not... I don't know. They don't get saved anywhere. So this is a good way to save it. Put it in your inbox. Of course, you have to sign up for it on your own because it's separate from your Adafruit account if you have one.
Yes, we are not using this to spam you. We promise.
Pinky promise.
Exactly.
Okay. I'm gonna run through this show thing. So don't tell me what it is. I'm just gonna say it. What are you prototyping? Layer by layer. Shop Ataka Q&A and my favorite, still favorite, 2016 community makes. Okay. Pedro, you got like you're saying, I got a big project. You're doing the big project. You did that book helmet. Now you're working on an even bigger project.
Why am I always working on the big projects?
You work on big projects. That's your thing. You do the big
in terms of
size.
Scale. I know.
Mine are like the 100 wires.
So this is the Halo 5 Energy Sword. I hope this is what the design looks like. I don't think I really do.
I think it does. You started this when Halo 5 came out, which was like Halloween. And it's like, you know, all these...
Our neighbor who was like super into it was like, holy crap, you gotta let me do the modeling, the hero shots for that, so hopefully we get some cool hero shots when we're done with this.
She's got a whole Halo suit, like a real one.
Yeah, so this is like a 10-piece design. Each like side for the blade is whatever. How many
LEDs.
I gotta chop it up in like 3 pieces.
Trinket.
LED trinkets, some new lighting products that hopefully go in the shop by the time.
So miniature but yet big, like mini for a big project.
Yeah, so the handle 4-piece design, have all the standoffs to put all the electronic goodies inside there.
This looks clean.
Some nice, some electrical batteries inside there. Printed on the all-new Ultimaker is back there. 100 microns on this bad boy here, nice and smooth. A ton of supports went into here, but easily removed with simplified 3D.
Not that many supports, right? Is it auto-generated or you customized it?
I customized some of it, but the auto-generated looked a lot better, so I did that.
100 microns, you said?
100 microns. We have your slots here for recharging and
This is the year of 100 microns. This week's project like totally need 100 microns to do the threads. This one just best detail.
Crap, you're right, yeah.
It's the year of 100 microns, I'm saying it. Do it now.
Craft sticks are going to hold all this stuff together, and boom, we got a spaceship. No, it's a handle.
It looks like the
using Fusion 360 to do the freeform modeling on this.
Okay, let's talk about it next week.
Super nice, yeah.
Week after, whatever.
Yeah, we're using the extended over there to do 305 millimeter tallness for the blades, so that's pretty cool. Whoa.
What? Is it laggy?
It just, the focusing on it.
Oh,
super
focusing.
Cool. Yeah.
Flipped out.
Printing another piece, the little tip, and that'll be, I think, it almost. We'll start shooting this hopefully next week.
This prints on what printer? This is big. Probably did this on Type A, huh?
Yeah, this one's on the Type A.
All right, so you're using all different printers.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. This one printed up or no? Down?
You got some cool projects you're working on as well, Noe?
No, this is just a regular update to this week's project.
Yeah.
Yeah. These are dual extruded covers, so the idea is that you can make your own cover. Like if you want to brand it, if you want to make your own icon or something like that, you can do that. This is an Apple logo. Not the best. We got an Adafruit logo, of course. Raspberry Pi. So I asked some folks, hey, what are some good logos? People were telling me all sorts of different logos, like PrinterBot and LowesBot and all the different printers. I was like, oh, the Raspberry Pi is a good one. So I did that one. And I'll talk a little bit about some importing SVG techniques. And of course, the Arduino. You have to have the Arduino logo, which is like
you should
an
have
awesome
worn
logo.
them. They look so cool when they're on there. The glowing
Yeah.
diffusion on that looks.
Here's the thing, folks. To get the best, to get the best diffusion, I actually had to remix the enclosure. So I actually have two different versions for you. I have a regular version and one called EXT, which stands for extended, which extends this case to 5 millimeters. So it's like a bit that big. A little bit thicker, you know, when you have more distance between your light, you get better diffusion.
More even
that was
diffusion.
key to make this actually look pretty. So if you are indeed want to do these type of special branded covers,
make it look good if you got to do that. Yeah.
you got to print the extended version. So that's pretty much it. And of course, the best thing about this is using threads, so you can make a screw top.
Fully
of course, I talked about
customizable, fully editable. You can adjust this to any earphones you might have gotten for the holidays.
Yeah, download it. Yeah. Yep. So the headphones, I sent a version out to Lamar, and hopefully she showed it off yesterday on Ask Engineer. I don't know. Are they gonna get it by Wednesday?
Yeah, it was overnight that we sent this.
All right. Very cool. All right. So that's about it. Let's go ahead and jump into layer by layer.
Let's check out some design techniques, importing SVGs.
One last thing. If you guys have any questions about the thing, just let me know. I'll talk more about the project if you want me to.
Essential techniques coming up.
Okay, cool. So importing SVGs, I learned, there's some caveats to
new,
when you're importing SVGs, specifically this one. Let's jump into it now. I found this from Fritzing Library. It came with the Fritzing Library. I searched for Raspberry Pi and it was in the library somehow. I don't know. So anyway, the first thing you want to do is use a vector editing program such as Inkscape, or in this case, Illustrator. You want to clean up your paths, make sure they're optimized, make sure you have the most minimal stuff. The awesome designer behind this one already had that, so I just had to remove a couple things like extra tags and extra little watermark things, registered, trademark. Next thing, you got to make sure that you're using pixels as your unit, and make sure that have in mind your base model. So since we're doing this, it made sense to have a 40 by 40 millimeter base, but
square.
Yeah, but I'm make sure again use pixels, not millimeters. Otherwise, your scaling will be all off. So you can do an auto. What is it? An auto resize inside of Illustrator.
Yeah, right underneath Edit, you can go to Artwork and Scale to the Artboard.
Okay, so that'll scale
put
it.
everything in the center. Yeah.
Or you could just hit the actual specific measurement that you want. Saving it out as an SVG is pretty straightforward. I'm using the 1.1 profile. There's not really many custom settings that you have to do there, so just export it as is. It was fine for me. Now, importing into Fusion, here's where you have to have a little bit of, here's some caveats. So it's under Insert, go to Insert SVG, and then you have to pick your plane. So in this case, I'm just gonna pick the bottom. Next thing you gotta do is click on that folder icon right next to Select SVG File, navigate to it, pick it, make sure it's the right one. I have a couple of them there, so make sure it's the right one. So when you hit that button, you think it's wrong, and I'm moving it around here using that little square. That's the freeform mover. I would avoid doing that because most of the time you're gonna want to do something very specific. So increment happens through the arrow manipulators. That little triangle thing, that little thing I selected was the scale. You can scale it if you want, but again, I recommend doing all that before you import it. Here's one of the weird things. So okay, so that I'm just moving it around, just showing you what different things are to move it. I would think that moving that would have a snap feature. It doesn't snap. It probably will in the future, but at the moment it doesn't. If you try to re-import it by clicking the folder icon, it doesn't do anything. If you clear out the values in the X and the Y distance, it doesn't do anything. So you have to hit cancel and then redo it. So just keep that in mind. Yeah. If you like mess around like 10 minutes like moving it where you want and then just to find out it doesn't do anything, not cool. So anyway, once you hit OK, you can roll over some of the features inside the sketch to make sure that it is in fact a closed and tight path. So then you can select some features and extrude them if you want. Hotkey command is E on your keyboard. Just E, that'll hit the extrude. You can type in a number.
You can hit P for pull as well.
I think, yeah, P for pull is, no, it's not. It's actually Q. P is for 1, 2, 3D design.
Oh, that's project.
Yeah, anyway, you can rename the sketch. I just named it Raspberry, and then it didn't go away. You just have to bring it back, because by default, once you do it, it like turns it off for you, which is kind of nice, but kind of, you know, whatever.
Candy it sometimes.
All right, so if you want to do a dual extrusion, you can extrude the other feature of it, and just make sure it's a new body under the operation, and all the little pieces are there for you. Now, the next thing I want to talk about is how to actually move the sketch after the fact, after it's been extruded and all that. If you wanted to move the sketch, let's say, into the center of the little center thing, that little corner. So you can't. You can select all day long, but yeah, it's kind of annoying. It only does this with a custom SVG. If you were to draw a path, you can move those paths within the edit sketch.
Way too long, though.
You don't need to do that in this case, but I just want to show you that is one of the things you can't do. So what you would rather you want to do is you can just move your solid that you've already extruded. So you can go to the move icon, and instead of moving it incrementally and messing with the handler, I like to use the point to point. So you can just select any type of points and then just drag it to a second point. Not click and drag, but just like click and then click again. And that way it's like in the center. So if we look at it now, it's actually underneath the grid, and that's sort of one thing you probably don't want to do. Instead of like moving it again, you can just double click on that operation that you did in your timeline and just modify it from there. The goal here is to make as minimal, as little operations as you want, as you can, so that way you don't have this giant like assortment of things in the bottom of the timeline. So you can just keep tweaking that same thing, do like 5 steps in one type deal. So that's kind of a little takeaway too, is what I like to do. That's one of my goals, is to do as many little things so that I can really make sense of the parametric timeline.
You could have saved one more step too, right when you imported it, as you're moving it around. You could have just did some math right inside when you click on either the X or the Y. Click on one of those first, figure out what the dimension is for that entire...
yeah, we already punched it in, so it would have been 20 by 20. In this case, it was 40.
And you just hit divided by 2, and it'll automatically do everything for you. It'll move it all to the middle.
That's a good one too. So there you go. But if you weren't sure if you wanted it in the center, that's one way to move it, point to point. So there you have it. This file is well, actually the files for all these guys are included in the main Fusion 360 file. So be sure to check that out.
Super cool.
Again, it's two different pieces. The thinner version, if you're just doing a regular circle, or if you want the logos, you're going to want that thicker thing. I really wanted to avoid having a thicker case, a taller case, but that's sort of the thing you have to balance when you
have to pick and choose.
You have to pick, what you want. You want a cool, pretty logo, or do you want a nice and slim one? So it's up to you guys. That's why I made them both for you. That's it. That's the Layer by Layer this week, folks. Also, I have a dual extrusion one that's out in the actual Layer by Layer playlist series, so be sure to check that one if you haven't already.
Super handy techniques for getting the cleanest.
So clean. They are really clean. Should we take a look at them?
Yeah.
Just to see how clean they are? It's pretty damn clean, yo. It took a little bit to get to it. You know, ooze shield's awesome. Definitely good for... you know, things that have they're in the Z, but for something like this, it doesn't have much Z. Doing a custom skirt, utilizing the 2 extruders, you can do a nice clean skirt ooze shield thing. So there you have it, folks.
Super fancy.
Cool stuff. Yep, get on that if you guys want to make it. Of course, if you want to pick up the stuff to build this week's project, Pedro, what can they do? What do you recommend?
Enter in discount code Pixel Ears to get 10% off.
10% off.
Yep. Discount code expires at 11:59 p.m. tonight, so take advantage. Get Filament. Of course, the Featherboard BLE that is required for this if you want to connect it to a fancy phone or watch.
Smartphone, awesome. Android, Apple. All right, let's go on to the next one, folks. We're going to do the shop talk. We got a lot of stuff for shop talk this week.
Oh my God, this
is a lot of new
like
stuff in the shop.
Shop talk episode.
This is the shop talk episode.
So let's go right into it.
All right, which one? This one?
I think so.
Okay.
So we got in the shop finally one of the tiniest printers I think we've ever tested. Took it out.
We talked about it. We've showed quite a few of it, folks. M3D printer is now in stock. We are now shipping it. Here it is.
This itty bitty baby printer.
It is the retail version.
That's right, so it comes with a year warranty and a
spool.
All black, Adafruit black. We got the black build tack at black filament.
It is the blackest of the black.
Nice and goth. We got a super cute little bubble store on there.
Yep. So we figured, what can we do differently to really showcase what this printer can do? And we've done something we really haven't done before. We went outside.
We can actually bring this thing outside.
You said it was 4 pounds?
I misspoke. This thing is like 2 pounds. I can't believe how light this thing is, just walking around with it. The cameras, the backpacks, our light carbon fiber tripod that we use for getting all these shots.
The freaking Manfrotto head's heavier than this.
Everything is heavier than this.
Anyway, it's showcasing here. Let's take it out to the park. Let's do some prints here and capture some beautiful little time-lapse photography here of it. So what were the logistics of actually setting it up outside? Can you run it off a battery? Yes, but not for long. So we figured, you know what, the pavilion has an outlet. Why not bring a power strip, bring our laptop, bring a GoPro, bring the printer, of course, and like we were saying, it was effortless to bring it over there. We can do that with a simple, we can do that with a printer bot Play. It's going to be a little bit heavier, but this guy, it weighed less than, like I said, our tripod. So it's kind of phenomenal to bring it out there, get some fresh air, and watch it print on this beautiful sunny day here in South Florida. Two kids actually came by and they're like, "What, is that a 3D printer?"
As they're walking up, eyes
not this kid, that's Pedro's kid. But 2 other kids that were, I think they were like just starting middle school or something like that.
Yeah.
They were saying that they were starting to learn about it in their IT class, and they haven't really seen one yet. So it's kind of cool to show them that it's very accessible. It's pretty affordable now. This is one of the affordable printers. Definitely recommend this one for like a first-time beginner who hasn't done any 3D printing. It's pretty good.
Yeah, of course, we talked about all of the software that you can use with this. Cura, Simplify 3D, it comes with its own app. And, of course, OctoPi with the plugin from...
OctoPrint works with this?
3D FIO.
FIO? Okay, well, you've seen enough of us like playing with it at the park. That's fun. Let's talk about some software stuff. A couple folks that we know are saying, you know, this is a great printer, but the software is kind of limited. Well, guess what? There is some updates to not just the firmware, but the actual software. And this is sort of the software that we recommend checking out as well. MicroPrint. Big shout out to Tommy's friends out in Sweden, who developed the third-party app, which we like to use, but you've been using their beta Mac app that's available on the website.
It works just fine. I use it on both Windows and Mac, and we've been able to get some very high-quality prints out of it.
That's right. You did use it on Windows 10, right? On that little Kangaroo $200 printer.
Yeah.
Or
also,
machine.
OctoPrint, if you switch over to the next
Let's
tab.
look at OctoPrint. Okay, so M3D FIO. This is the plugin, OctoPrint plugin for the Micro M3D printer. What can you do with this?
You can just hook up a Raspberry Pi to it, do all the controls through there. You can upload your firmware, you can do your bed leveling, you can
all through
load, unload,
OctoPrint.
Filament.
That's
do
awesome.
all your time lapsing. It's pretty amazing.
I wish there were screenshots of it, but it looks pretty stellar in the interface that you got going on
and
for
commits
OctoPrint.
like every other day. Look, like just 9 hours ago.
Yeah, there's a commit right now.
Yeah, so you can keep
9
track
hours
of
ago.
that.
Support for multiple printers, a new instant OctoPrint. Look at that.
Super cool. So definitely check this out if you have one. And I've been having
The
problems.
Novin 6000, you are doing it up, man. Thank you so much. This is very cool. Yeah, look at the graph he's been doing. Oh, he's been on vacay or something, like just churning out. Like, that's awesome. So very cool.
A lot of cute little parts too. I think we've already shown.
Let's take a look.
All the cool parts you can print out with this. Of course.
You've been pressing it for this whole time now, haven't you?
No, I think we've shown off these before, like the Bluefruit gamepad.
I mean, just every other then you've just been printing, like on Time-Lapse Tuesday, you've been printing. You printed some stuff with supports, printed stuff at 100 microns.
Yeah. Of course, Raspberry Pi Zero case fits quite nicely on there. Lots
this
of things
week's
like,
project fits on there.
Yeah, a lot
no
of
doubt.
cool, complicated things like this root planter print excellent on there.
Okay.
Movable parts. Oh crap! Check out this cool little jointed little
This thing's
foot.
awesome, man.
What's it called? like a little toolbox thing.
It holds like little tools and things.
Yeah, so this is printed at 0.25 millimeters, and it looks like a little bit more high quality than that. Yeah.
Okay.
This is actually
so
printed
movable
with their
parts.
software, yeah.
So you can print movable parts, no problem.
Here.
No support material.
No support materials.
Okay.
Of course, a bunch of our like jewelry projects.
That's the first thing we did. Can you print a box? How good is it at tolerances and stuff?
Yeah, everything's all dimensionally accurate. Overhangs, handles it like a champ. All of the snap together parts work perfect. All the standoffs, nothing breaks off. It's all nice and sturdy.
Solid. Okay, what are some caveats? This thing's small?
It's pretty small, but
How
it's
small?
also about 3 times slower than any of the other printers.
All right, let me
So something that takes like about 5 minutes to print is going to take you about 12 minutes.
These are
the
inches.
bed
I don't know
size-
inches. Sorry about that, folks. But
So it's 113 millimeters by 109 millimeters
Okay.
by 100.
So you can put a Raspberry Pi 2
something,
case on there.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Okay. So a lot of different prints that we've been testing out. Okay, so how about speed? Is it fast?
No, I just mentioned that it prints about 3 times slower than any other printer. So
Okay.
as I was saying, something that takes about 5 minutes is going to take you about 12 minutes to print.
Okay.
So there is the caveat of that. It is going to be printing a little bit slower.
Spool holder inside there.
On the inside, yeah.
Okay.
So removable build plate. You got build tack that comes already on there. And yeah, I am.
Is it worth the money, Pedro? Would you recommend
I think so.
it?
For somebody first timer, is only going to be worth it, especially for the price and just the portability of this. If you're doing like doing a trade show or at a conference or something like that, you could take this around. Being able to put just walking around with this.
Yeah,
it's just how light it is.
Yeah, it's crazy.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah. Okay. Well, we have a print here. This is Bulbasaur. You want to take it off the bed?
I don't have any of my tools here. But
I can bring it right here. Here's your tool. There you go. One of our favorite spatulas. Tell me about the bed plate. What kind of build plate is it?
So it's a cold build plate. Yeah, I'm not gonna get this off without.
There you go, sir.
Guy here.
Okay, do it over the overhead here, Pedro.
Oopsie.
Overhead.
Oh, too late. I already took it off.
That's cool. It's pretty effortless, especially with the tack. Removable bed is something I really like. Leveling was one thing too that I wasn't too sure about, but it's pretty much the same song and dance that you would do like with a piece of paper, right?
Yeah. So one of the coolest things is that it comes with a little flexible, clear build plate here.
Okay.
Of course, the spool is inside. You can kind of see it in there.
Yeah, it's right in there.
Of course, this is the little tiny spool it comes with, but you can use additional regular size spools. Just be sure to load it from the back and not the sides, as it will mess with the motion drive system on here. Okay. So that's the only little thing you got to look out for. And yeah, you can go along and print yourself some super cute little baby Bulbasaurs
Okay.
or nice little bigger complex things. And of course, you can always glue things together. I'm impressed with being able to print all of our small electronics projects on this.
Yeah, sure.
But yeah, super cool. Can't beat the price, and of course the weight of this little guy.
Okay. You've seen us talk about it before, folks, and we've been gearing up to stock it in the shop, make sure that everything is in place for it. Mm-hmm. You get, like you're saying, 1-year warranty if anything is faulty with it or whatnot. Hopefully not. There's some reviews out there of some early beta test units, but this, like again, the firmware has been updated, the software has been updated.
Yeah, it's one of the first things people I think Protopasta was saying that they were having some problems, and it's like, did you update your firmware?
Yeah.
And they're like, oh crap, yeah. Maybe
okay.
I should have said yes to that notification, so definitely check that out.
That's funny. All right, always say update to the firmware. Okay, cool.
So the latest one as of this recording should be 3.6.7, I believe, is the latest one. And of course, Mac and PC or OctoPrint, and it'll work on any web browser.
Very cool. All right, folks. Well, if you have any questions about the M3D, you want to see something printed on it, test on it,
we have a lot of time lapses already queued up on it. So, of course,
different materials, NinjaFlex, copper fill, bronze fill, any one of those things that you want us to see printed, we will print it out.
I think we've already talked about this, but yeah, it's a direct drive system. So SemiFlex, NinjaFlex works on there.
250 is the highest temp, 260, something like that?
I think it's like 250, 260, yeah.
All right, cool. So you can do some nylon, perhaps.
Yeah.
All right. No heated bed. No heated bed, but
probably not because of the heated bed. Yeah.
But you can put it in a nice box and then be like, there's your heat. So it's easier to enclose.
A lot of people have modded it out to have a heated bed.
I want to put some LEDs on the thing, man. I want to put some LEDs in there, put a trinket in there, get that thing chooching. All right. That's the
Of course,
M3D.
you can get 10% off with discount code.
That is awesome. So I can buy this printer, get free shipping,
Actually,
and
I want to show this real quick.
All right.
How does it actually work?
How does it work?
You already switched to it?
Yeah, let's do it now. Ready?
When you add it to the cart, automatically, if internet's fast enough, go to
Yeah.
view cart.
All right. View my cart.
All the free goodies are automatically
Whoa,
added.
I get a Fro pre-trinket, I get a mini 5-volt trinket, and a half-size perfect proto.
Oh my god, you can already start building the super cool Bluetooth.
And free shipping.
Yeah, and this is before even entering in the coupon code.
Yo. Wait, it's just.
It's not going to work
ears.
since we're recording this on a Tuesday.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
It's
Sorry.
not active yet, but yeah. You
Secret's out. We're recording on a Tuesday. That's very cool, guys. Just wanted to show you guys real quick that it's automated here, and we're so close to buying another one.
Go ahead and go into the next
product.
segment is very long-awaited OctoPrint.
OctoPrint is now in the shop. I reached out to Gina. I said, you know, it'd be really cool to offer a pack. I mean, we offer the Astro pack. Why not offer OctoPrint? I've been really loving OctoPrint. We recently...
Oh my god, they do like commits like every other...
Yeah, a lot of contributors,
week.
a lot of plugins, a lot of active community going on. OctoPrint is awesome. Big fan. So Gina worked with John O'Brien.
Over at New Products. Yeah.
Over at New Products here at Adafruit. And they really managed this project really well. Gina had... first say in what exactly we needed, so she suggested the right mini Wi-Fi card dongle. Sorry, she suggested getting a class 10 SD card for it's really fast, and we actually wanted to include the Raspberry Pi camera, but she thought that a lot of folks might already have a USB webcam and just make it as an option. So you can go right here and click on also include if you want that Raspberry Pi cam. You might also want the flex cable as well. So there you have it, folks. It comes with a case too, power supply, everything you need.
Get started, yeah.
I
The
sound so
OctoPrint image,
salty, but there it
OctoPrint
is.
image is already installed on there too.
That's right.
An SD card.
We also, a guy who does the Pi image was also CC'd on the email, and they actually were sent the pack to make sure it's all good and works really well out of the box. So there you go, folks. If you're on the fence on getting started with OctoPrint, here's a whole pack to get you started.
Perfect,
so there you go.
Perfect pack.
Big shout out to you, Guy and Gina. Thank you guys. You guys are awesome. If anybody has any questions or want to see some stuff with OctoPrint, let us know.
Yep, we're definitely have a video upcoming on all of this.
Okay, cool. You can get 10% off, like I was saying. It's already there, so I might as well click on it. Okay. Next up, even more new printers. This time on the other opposite spectrum of tiny, small, and miniaturized. How about big? Really, really big. Big robots.
Yes. So Tuesday's announcement, they're at CES. They released some updated models of their 2 Plus and their 2 Plus Extended.
Everybody's like, oh my god, is it dual extruder? Is it flex extruder? Oh my god, it's gonna come in black. Nope, it is a nice incremental update to their feed. Their feeder is now spring-loaded. They have better positioning of the fan mount, so it's active cooling better.
Airflow and interchangeable nozzles via the Olsen block kit being included. So you get 0.25, 0.4, 0.6, 0.8 millimeter nozzles already included in there. Super nice. We've been testing this already with 175 and it works pretty good. All thing you got to do is increase the temperature up to I think like 245, 250. Okay. And it flows perfectly.
Okay, how about the tensioning in the feeder? There's the feeder right there, folks.
Yeah, so for one of the tests I left it right where it's at right now, which is right in the middle, and it worked pretty well. Yeah. Okay.
But you've updated it too, right? Like to the second notch, I believe? The first notch?
One of the other ones I did, but I don't think I needed to.
Oh.
So definitely just test that out on yours, depending on how the guys over at Fabricate have assembled it.
Okay. So there it is. That's our unboxing video. Let's take a look at some settings. So you got some material
It looks
profiles.
like there's an updated firmware inside there. So you have a per temperature adjustment for each nozzle, which is pretty cool. Good. And like we were saying, it's easy to swap these out. They include a little wrench there.
Which one do you have on it now?
I think I have the 0.6 millimeter on there right now.
Oh, does it help with the 175?
Yeah, seems to have helped, but I think it was probably just the temperature and increasing that is what made it flow a little bit better.
Okay, so we'll be testing this more out, testing out the different
yes, we've had it nozzles. For a full, about almost
4 hours?
12 hours now.
12 hours? Yeah.
So again, we're shooting this on the Tuesday. We got this literally out like Monday at like 6 p.m., something like that.
Okay. Comes with all the tools you need to put it together.
Non-stop, yeah.
Okay, cool.
Included.
If you folks already own an Ultimaker 2,
I think
not
within
really
a certain period, they do include the
Oh.
Olsen block kit, and all the ones that we have in stock at Adafruit already have the kit.
Okay.
You will get that.
Cool. Coming soon to the Adafruit shop.
Yep.
The Plus. Okay. Cool. So that's it, guys. If you have any questions on the Ultimaker 2 Plus, you have any things you want to see us do with the printers, they're over there. And drop us a comment down below, and we'll be sure to answer you guys and get working on that. Okay, last thing in the shop, I promise. I know there's a lot of stuff on the shop, but here is one of the last things. Let me just go to the...
we got some new materials.
Some new materials, Pedro. We've been testing this material for since November, I think. Yeah, with the Purple People Eater, I actually had this material. PLA PHA from the fine folks over at Print Z, makers of the Zebra Plate.
Formerly known as the Ninja Plate.
Yeah, yeah. PLA PHA, this stuff is our favorite material ongoing forward.
It's super strong.
Here is a cool test.
Sands really good, and it's
of Wayne, the maker,
strong.
the designer, the engineer behind this material and the Zebra Plate, testing out PLA right there, snapped very quick. Now this is PLA PHA, doing a little quick grip test, and trying to see what kind of force can you get out of this printed part here. So what happened there? Did it break?
Nope, looks like the zip tie actually broke on this.
Oh, the zip tie broke. This video is linked in the product description too. So here's the deflection test, testing out normal PLA, trying to see what kind of load can it handle. This is just a bucket. There's the test piece at 100% infill. So testing sort of a bend strength here. This is regular PLA, just filling up a regular bucket with water.
One of the other cool things too that we've seen around the web is some people using acetone to weld things together, and it works on the PLA PHA.
Normal PLA does not work with acetone. Acetone does not work regular PLA, so you can't finish it. You can't weld stuff together. But it's a lot. Okay, so it failed there at 28 pounds. Here's PLA, and let's talk a little bit while it's doing that. So I had some testing at sanding it. I found it a lot more smoother and a lot more forgiving for sanding. So you're not going to have all these sharp edges. It's a little bit more flexible. Yeah. You can see it here. It's not breaking. It's flexing. In fact, it doesn't break at all. He fills it up to the top, and the shit doesn't break.
I think it goes up to, what is it?
43 pounds, and it doesn't break. It just bends.
So, really cool.
So as far as the heat, it's still the same. It's still going to be the same in terms of heat. It's still got a low temperature, so you can still mend it and bend it. If you want to do the graphics hat, you can still bend parts, but it's just stronger in terms of like actual load. It'll bend. It's more flexible.
No heated bed required for this.
No heated bed. You could do if you want it.
Regular PLA.
You don't have to. So that's pretty much it. I love his pigment colors of choice too. He's got really nice saturated, some nice bright colors too.
Yeah. Got some glow in the dark too.
Actually, not really that saturated. More like he's got glow in the dark. Anyway, check out the site too, printinz.com, if you want to get some different materials. But definitely check it out. It's actually right here in Lake Worth. Here, very local to us.
We're going to be converting all of our material over to the PLA PHA.
Thanks for saying that. Yeah,
awesome.
This is worth it. Definitely worth it. So there you go, guys. Check out this material, PLA PHA. Here he is, just testing it again, like normal
with
PLA.
the regular PLA. Yeah,
broke at the same stuff, and here's the second trial.
Yeah, we don't need to see it again.
Okay,
but you can check this out yourself. Video is linked in the product description.
Yep.
And again, you can use a discount code.
Discount code Pixel Ears. Get some monies off your filament or your printer or your electronics. That's it for Shop Talk, folks. If you have any questions about the stuff we just talked about, drop us a line.
We'll run some tests on any questions you might have.
That's right. All this is printed in PLA PHA.
Yeah, super cool.
Okay,
next segment.
Next segment I want to jump into before the Q&A. I want to do the community makes, folks. Last week I missed the community makes. This week I'm going to make sure I didn't, because there's some very cool stuff, and I appreciate you guys making the projects and getting things out there. So let's jump into that. Community
makes. First up, super cute tripod.
This is a tripod, the Raspberry Pi tripod. This was made by Mr. Steba. Steba on Thingiverse put this together. Not much description, guys. I really want to see some descriptions for you, but here's a picture. It looks kind of cool. It printed out really nice. That looks phenomenal. It looks really nice. Cool.
Next up, we got
this is the tripod lens adapter camera. I think it's for the iPhone 5, but we also have it for the 6. So that's cool. Again, no comments. I'm not sure any settings or anything, but it looks pretty good. Hopefully it works for you. Next one, this is from Paul. Printed out your Mario Boo planter. Here we go. We got some stuff here. Printed out without any problems. Had some layer adhesion problems on the base layers. This has been solved by printing with a raft at 0.4 air gap. This was caused by my printer and not the file. That's good to know. Printed on his Hicktop i3 with Hatchbox blue PLA, and he painted it. I like that. I don't know if that's how do you get that sort of effect on the surface?
It looks like the layer height or something like that, but it looks pretty cool.
It looks cool. It looks kind of like I don't know. It just looks interesting. It gives it that extra texture to it. Huh. Pretty cool. Next one. This is from Alice Soto. She has I see her name pop up a couple times on Wearable Wednesday. She's got like a couple questions for Becky, and she printed out Link's sword. So this thing came out really nice. She printed it on her printer bot Simple. It's just to show you that you can print big stuff on small printers. So that's awesome.
Just connect them together, and it should work out.
She
perfect.
says, I printed it in glow-in-the-dark filament with filament outlet. The grip of NinjaFX broke in the middle, probably a slicer error.
Super cool.
She has a simple white, and she printed it white. That's pretty cool.
Very cool.
Shout out to you, Alice. Thank you so much for making it and sharing. Hope you enjoy it and slash some evil villains with it. Next one. This is the Raspberry Pi A Plus case by Fu. Fu printed out the thing. It looks pretty darn nice. Very nice. Bed leveling there. Everything. All the overhangs look really nice and clean. Shout out to you. Pocket PiGRRL. This is a really awesome. This is a really challenging project. This is made by Cosmic R. I'm not sure the full name, but Cosmic R is what he put there on his Thingiverse username. He got a nice description. This is awesome. Learned so much stuff about this one. Very cool. Definitely check this one out.
Lowsbot Mini.
Printed out on the Lowsbot Mini. Super kudos to you, sir, for sharing your journey and learning process of the build. It's a very challenging build.
One last one. I think we got.
This is one of my favorite ones. Yeah, I'm not sure this young maker's name, but he's a young maker, and he posted this. Somehow I found it on Twitter. Pyramoni actually retweeted, I think his mom, that shared it. This is awesome. So he goes through his whole experience. He sent the file to his mom, who printed the STL
at work.
Yeah, has an Ultimaker at work, so they were able to print it at work on straight glass. The thing's looking really clean. Here he is right there, like assembling it, putting it together over the holiday break. Very, very empowering project for him. He talks about all the things that he learned about it. Learned so much. Very, very awesome. This is what really keeps us going. Like seeing that people are learning from it, being empowered to feel like, you know, I can build anything now. I can design my own thing. I can build my own electronics. Very, very cool stuff. Big shout out to you,
feeling,
sir.
especially since it's a design I really like, and he learned a lot from it.
Invaluable learning experience.
Yeah.
Building
Getting all that experience in electronics and 3D printing.
Every time I pick it up, I feel a sense of pride and wonder and that we didn't just buy this from the shops, but produced it ourselves. And that's the whole point about these projects. It's to really empower you guys to see differently, see the world, and be like, man, I can design some stuff.
And coming from a kid too, that's a lot more gratifying than having, you know, like a middle-aged person.
I love the middle-aged
is
doing,
like
but it's empowering for our kids, their futures, to do it. Very cool. He's also playing with the Kano OS. His favorite thing, I think, was like
keyboard.
Yeah, I think his favorite thing was playing Minecraft without any wires like that. So it's very cool. All right, shout out to you, sir. Thank you so much for sharing your experience. Keep on making. All right, well, that's all the makes we have. If you guys have any projects, they don't have to be our projects. If you have any projects, you can get in contact with in the show comments or on the social channels. I think you asked one of the weeks too, like, hey, is anybody working on something? And somebody showed their sort of student project.
Exactly.
It was really awesome to see.
It is up on Twitter, Instagram. We write all the blog posts for Thursday, and
There's a blog tip too. You can submit tips at adafruit.com, I think, or support at adafruit.com. Jess will send it our way.
And we always get a ton of tips from there as well.
Save it up. So there you go, guys. That's this week's Community Makes. Thank you guys so much for making and sharing. It really means a lot to us.
And our last segment for this show, we're going to be looking at Q&A. We got a ton of questions this week. Remember, if you have a question...
Questions and comments. I need to change that because we're doing a lot of different things. But
if you have a question, leave it on any of the videos below, and we will gather them up for a future episode.
That's right. All right, this one's from Daniel Spolowaski. Could you elaborate more on the differences between OnShape and Fusion 360? I've modeled in SketchUp for years and developed some bad habits, so learning the design process in OnShape Fusion 360 was a bit of a challenge. Big shout out to 3D DC for his tutorials. That's actually Andrew Bebelheimer. Big shout out to you, sir, too. I've tried both programs and now I've migrated into OnShape because I use fewer 32-bit computers, so 360 isn't an option anywhere. What functionality am I missing out on as a result of my decision? Thanks.
Yeah, so the only thing you're really missing out on is the freeform modeling, like what I'm using for
freeform, the sculpting environment. So that's where you basically have tools that perform more organically. You can pull and push surfaces to make really puffy, organic type shapes.
Exactly. Yeah.
OnShape
but
is.
I think you can get away with doing that with importing SVGs and things like
yeah,
that. You are able to cut things into a certain way.
Yeah, but there's just some shapes you just can't get.
Exactly. Yeah, that's actually the first way that I tried without doing the freeform modeling, but it just couldn't get the bevels that you're able to get with freeform modeling. But that's one of the things there.
Another thing is rendering, animation, and simulation. So doing some weak test points to find out where you might have some breakage. Fusion 360 is a very powerful tool, but OnShape is as well. It definitely compares very well. You can run it on any type of...
Wouldn't be surprised if that's what they're working on for future updates, but yeah.
Oh, really? Yeah. So
both are timeline based.
Yeah, both are parametric. Both are solid modeling. Both have collaborative tools. I think OnShape has a better version of it where you can do it on the same time.
Yeah.
You can actually work on the same project at the same time. In Fusion 360, you can work on the same project,
but not at the same time.
But not at the same time, yeah. Like you'd have to work on different parts. I remember running into that issue with Taylor. But yeah,
it's not browser based, so you can't really edit this inside of say Chrome or something like that.
Right, that's the cool thing about
OnShape.
OnShape. So yeah, all you're missing now is just like those fancy sculpting tools and a little bit of the extra animation.
They can one day maybe implement.
But you do get the ability to sort of test joints, test assemblies to make sure your part is actually functional in terms of movement and mechanics. So they're both good, awesome choices. But those are the main differences, I think. If you folks have any options too or suggestions on what the differences are, let us know so we can help Daniel out. But I think you made a good choice, man. Cool. Very good stuff. Next up, this one, I'm in the wrong spot here. Next up, this is from DJ505 Gaming on the gamepad, the DIY Bluetooth gamepad. I'd love to make a little arcade mount for my Android tablet with this, like one shown to the right at 53. It'd be awesome to hook it up to MAME and configure it to play some games. Is there, by any chance, a tutorial on how to build that one? No, I haven't put together a tutorial on it, but it's pretty much just like Phil B's Cupcade, or I think he has one previous to the Cupcade where he did it with some acrylic parts. Right. So definitely follow that tutorial in terms of like just getting the electronics and the software working.
Yeah, just search learn.adafruit.com for the arcade.
Yeah,
build.
I'll have it linked too. But there are so many cases out there on Thingiverse too, retro game consoles. So check those out too.
I actually started one, but I think stopped halfway through.
Yeah, I stopped halfway through, and it's not really fully finished. And I don't think it uses screws. It was more like a friction fit, and it didn't work out too well. So I'd have to revisit that. But there you go, DJ. There's some options for you there. Very cool idea. Those are always the funnest ones. Next one is from Cassidy Jennings, suggesting let's make a Pi 2 emulator that is more like a TBZ Scouter, like that heads-up display that
9,000
over 9,000 Vegeta. Reason ergonomics. I'm new to the scene, but I'm not new to EMU or 3D printing. I suffer from neck and back injuries that can have me bedridden for days, and I need this.
Yeah, so we were talking about this earlier. We'll link below what the tiniest screen that we have that will work with this over a composite.
Yeah, it'll work with the Raspberry Pi.
Yeah, it's something we're looking into. Might be a fun little project to do.
Very cool idea.
Unfortunately, the Google Glass, the DIY Google Glass,
the video glass goggles,
I don't think we still have those.
Yeah, the supply ran out, so those were very cool ones to hack. But unfortunately, suppliers do run out of stuff eventually. Yeah. Okay, this one is from Tyson Dabney. Have you guys ever done a shop tour of your place? I haven't seen every episode, so I might have missed it along the way, but I would like to see all the things you got going on. Tool holders, spool holders, the array of printers you got going on, etc.
One day
we'll
you've
do it.
seen, we just had to move a bunch of stuff around to make room for the other printers. We got to swap out one of the Type A's. We got some other printers that are coming in. So
holiday just happened, so our garage is a mess.
Yeah, all the decorations still need to get put away into the attic, so we always are arranging things. But one of the days this year, we plan to make a shop tour.
Yeah.
Stay tuned.
Stay tuned. Thanks for the question, though, Tyson. You did not miss out yet. Don Edrondo is asking, how do you determine the minimal amount of support needed on that M3D printed adapter, the battery adapter that you made? Print Studio seems to recommend less than simplified 3D, but I'm not sure how to know what is the minimum I can get away with.
Yeah, so Print Studio has a different sort of support structures, not as well, for some of the parts, not as well as simplified 3D. They just do the
tree-based?
They do the tree-based for the Print Studio. Simplify 3D does the column or pillar-based ones.
Yeah.
And based on what the overhangs are, you can sort of just looking at it by experience on where it's going to need the most support. So it's pretty much just these little overhang parts. If you can see here, these that dip down because it's printed downward on the bottom like this. So I just did one pillar right here, one over here.
Try to shine the light on it. It's hard to see. There you go. So those are the little corner pillars. You see that? If we would have printed that without any support material,
this would have sagged down in there and totally ruined
so you really needed those supports. But the overall top inside part,
all this was able to bridge.
It was bridge.
Across, yeah.
So you take a look at bridging, right? Stuff that's floating, stuff that has bridges. That's the key. That's how you know. That's how you determine it. So you really have to inspect your part well. Pedro obviously designed this one, so he knows off the bat what he's going to design for supports in mind.
Yeah, when you do the auto-generated support, it would try to fill this entire bottom here, but pretty much all you need is just a couple pillars for all the corners here, and this one little part here that dips down in here. Just one on each corner, actually, or on each side of it. Yeah. So it was about like 8 different pillars on there. Right. And that was like
so that's key right there. I think your bridging comment is definitely key because you can see that if the nozzle can go across and reach another perimeter, it's going to be able to catch that. But those corners, there's nowhere to catch it. It's just going to print and then go back and then not have anywhere to stick to.
Exactly, yeah.
So there you go.
So yeah, it's just looking at the part, figuring out what, I mean, you can go as high as 60% for the
infill density?
The overhang.
Oh,
the infill density is just the default stuff. It's 70% density and 4 millimeters for the pillars.
Okay, let me go back to the questions. Well, that is an awesome question. I think I could make a whole video. That'd be a really cool video.
Structures,
yeah, cool. Thank you, Don, for the question. Next one is up from Todd Stever. Great video. I've joined all the layer by layers. I'm wondering if you have done a Fusion 3D video and how to use it. I've downloaded the software to base off the videos, but my version is configured a bit differently than yours, and I can't figure out all the features and tools. Yes, I really like that idea. I'm definitely going to do that next week so that it's more of an introduction video. Now I've used it a lot. I'll show you what to do when you first get in there, how you can move around.
Your tool. That's pretty
Customizing
easy.
tools is a big thing. I think that's where you might not understand what exactly you're doing, because I'm assuming that you have a very basic knowledge of Fusion 360, so that's why I'm like, oh, hit you on your keyboard. You know what that does. But I'm going to try to do something more where it's like, here's how to actually navigate around some stuff and some sort of, I don't know, ideologies of what it means to do a sketch and things like that. And what to look out for. But thank you, Todd. I'm very glad the Layer Layers are helping you out and many others. Vanessa Rodriguez is asking, not the Pocket PiGRRL, if you wanted to add more buttons like L1 or R2 or L2 and R2, X and Y, how might you do that? So yeah, a good question. You can totally do that. I actually have in the video, I have the 2-button version, the A and B button version, but actually in the Thingiverse project and in the actual learning guide tutorial, you can see that there is a 4-button version. And all you have to do is, there's a couple things you got to do. Is first you got to pick a nice GPIO that isn't being used up by the TFT or by anything else. And you can do that by just checking out the guide. There's a little map there that shows you color codes, like what GPIOs are available. There's a couple more available, so you can do, I think, several other buttons. Wire them up to the GPIO and then modify the retro game.c file that's inside the Adafruit retro game directory. All that stuff is already commented and written out for you in the tutorial, Vanessa. So all you gotta do is check that out. Yep. But yeah, it's pretty straightforward once you follow the guide. Next one, this one's from Derp Seal on the Pocket Piker game. I was thinking of making one of these, but on the wrist. Any tips?
Yeah, so this sounds like a certain Pip-Boy project that you need to finish up.
But then how would you do the controls if it was?
Oh yeah, right, because you're gonna be holding it like that.
I don't know how it would. PiGRRL probably. Check out the PiGRRL.
Yeah.
We're still working out the logistics for doing a PiGRRL. It's being worked on, and that's probably the tip that I have is the PiGRRL. Get the PiGRRL and work from there.
Yep.
Okay, thank you, Derp Seal. Next one is from Angus from Maker's Muse, commenting on the Daft Punk helmet. Awesome job, guys. I know you've been working on this one for a while. Gotta get me some of those pixels.
Yeah,
Thank you so much, Angus. Definitely check out Angus's YouTube channel if you haven't already. Maker's Muse. Awesome. His latest slicing review, definitely worth a watch. Always doing very cool projects, very cool reviews, and the like.
Yep, thanks
Angus
for the
is
comment.
doing it up.
Take quite a while to do.
Yeah, he knows. That's why he's like, I've been seeing it on the social channel. So, very cool. Thank you, Angus, and keep up the awesomeness. Next one is from Kirby G. Great tutorial again. I printed it in ABS and it went together perfect. That is good to hear.
Good to hear that in ABS there was no shrinkage or warpage of any of the screw threads.
Yeah.
Pretty cool.
I think you printed on your Lowe's bot, right? So that's cool.
Again, we always fear that different nozzle sizes are gonna like goop.
I'm always afraid, like, oh no, is the tolerance going to be the same? Yeah. That is really reassuring. So thank you, Kirby, for your comment. And guys, everyone out there, check out Kirby G's YouTube channel. He just started doing videos. Very, very awesome project and very, very fun one too. He made a 3D printed wedding ring because he's getting married. Awesome. That is so nerdy, awesome cred. So congratulate Kirby on his new wedded. Do it up, Kirby. And John is asking on the Game Boy, the first one. I'm wondering, do you have to use an SES handle? And can I use ones, or do I have to use ones that are in the Game Boy? I'm thinking about the little buttons.
Yeah, I think that the buttons...
They're about the same. I modeled them to be the same, so you can use those if you want. Elastomers probably won't work. Maybe they will. I haven't tried it.
You can cut them up and make them work, I think.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, there you go, John. Next one is from the Endernaut. Do you have a slide switch where you have the red and black input cables from one end and the red and the black output the power, so you can cut the power? Our slide switches don't come pre-wired. You have to actually wire them up, so you can wire them up however you want in any orientation. You can flip them around or whatnot. So there you have it. We also have different buttons. We got a lot of different buttons and switches in the Adafruit shop. Just do a little category search, and you will see all the separate ones that we have. But thank you for the question. Next one is from David Flower. I want to say Flower. David. This is David. Hey, Noe, great tutorials. I am learning a lot. Thank you. Thank you for the comment and checking them out. When I first started these tutorials, I wasn't sure if anybody was going to watch them or not. But I'm very grateful that people are getting a kick out of them and learning something. That was my contribution. Cool. So, yeah, keeping them coming. I'm doing one a week now. Before, I was like one whenever I felt like it. Now it's like, all right, I really want to do one a week. So thank you for the comment, David. Next one is from Jeffrey Sanders. Very nice job. I love it when you guys bring your A game. Whoa, Pedro. Nice comment on your Daft Punk helmet.
Yeah, again, it just takes forever to do.
Yeah. Well, this was something that there's a lot of unknowns. Like, is my primer going to melt my PLA?
Yeah.
Is
a lot of figuring out for post-processing, and I think it took about 2 months, something like that.
Yeah. Is my resin, is my resin going to explode and catch fire? Like, it's just so many things. So thank you for the comment. Appreciate it. Next one is from Nell Honky. Looks pretty awesome. What was the reasoning with making the bottom section so tall compared to the Daft Punk's version? So if you take a look,
I didn't notice until I actually looked at more reference images, but it does look a little bit longer.
Yeah. It looks more like shorter to his chin.
Yeah.
Well, the real reason is because Pedro had a massive beard at the time, so he needed somewhere to fit all that.
I think it was just when I was looking at the reference model for modeling it, it was just trying to cover up the whole chin, and I didn't realize that it was a little bit different. As we say in the tutorial, it's not accurate. So as you can see, the visor also is a little bit smaller than what the original looks like. It doesn't
extend as far as the original does, and there's not like a seam here too.
Oh, and one thing I really wish I would have put on there was like the ventilation holes on the bottom.
Oh yeah.
So not completely accurate, but
pretty close.
Pretty close.
I think it's a lot closer than the Guy Manuel ones. So.
Oh yeah.
Guy Manuel's is more like like alien.
We didn't have limitations of the bed size.
It wasn't. Yeah. Okay. Well. Thank you, Neil, for the question. And Pedro's massive beard is the real reason. Next one is from Jazz Washington. Are you selling these? Hoverboard, GoPro, camera mount?
No, we don't sell any of the 3D printed projects. You can, of course, go to your local library, school, and have
maybe you can print that.
out,
Or go to 3dhubs.com, upload the STL, download it, of course, from Thingiverse, and upload it to 3D Hubs and have someone in your local area quote you a price, and they'll print it out for you. And that's how it works.
Yep.
So you can buy them, totally. Next one is from Andrew Chalkers. What's up, man? Who are your go-to brands for ABS
Yeah, so not too much use in ABS.
Yeah, you don't see us
days.
using it too much, yeah.
But if we had to, I think probably the Print and Z is a good place to get those.
Well, that's our local, that's our local maker
Then
here.
Ultimachine also.
Ultimachine, Hatchbox. There's a lot of good brands out there. But us, we don't use ABS too much, but if we did, like you said.
We still have like tons of it left over from the ABS
Mad
days.
Hackers. What is the other one? Geeks, Maker Geeks has a good one. I like their facility.
Oh yeah.
Geeks is
Make
just
actually
awesome.
did a really good video on how they actually produce all of their filament.
Yeah.
So definitely check those
There's
out.
all sorts of filaments, so check them out. Thanks, Andrew. Next one. This one's from Terry Burns Dyson. I'm loving Fusion 360, and this is perfect for projects I've got in the works. Thank you for the great guides. All right, I'm glad it's working out for you, Terry. Cool, very cool comment. Thank you. Next one up is from Cooking Tasty at 8 How can I print 175 filament with the Ultimaker 2?
Yeah, so we actually made a whole video on that. It's just a couple of adjustments to the feeder in the back.
A couple things to look out for as well. You don't want to get jammed. We're warning you now if you just do it without...
Not that much of an issue anymore with the spring-loaded feeder.
If you have the plus, So there you go.
Check it out. We have a whole learning guide on that.
I don't believe you. It's not possible, Pedro. Some people are saying it's not, it's not possible, but it is. There you go.
Will be linked in the description below.
All right, thank you. Next one is from Warebox3333. My question is, using dual extrusion, could you 3D print a basic electronics circuit?
Yeah, so I actually tried this out using the flexible Ninja Flex and Protopastas conductive filament, and it works pretty good with some basic little LEDs. You just have to make the traces pretty fat. You tried that. Yeah, you actually tried that using the new Raspberry Pi PCB.
Yeah.
And
pitch is too
thick. Yeah. So it just depends on how thick your traces are. And the I don't know, maybe it's not gonna be dual extruded, but on the Ultimaker with the new 0.25 millimeter nozzle, you might be able to get them thinner. I've
also seen people do like just the base of a trace and then like fill in the trace channels with like
silver ink or something like that.
No, it wasn't silver ink. It was bare conductive paint. We got that stuff in the shop too. Yeah.
That's actually what I used on the flexible glove.
Oh, to sort of to seal it in.
Yeah.
And I was going to use the same stuff too to keep the components in. But yeah, it's totally possible. Of course, low power stuff. And actually, there's some new graphite filament that somebody told me to check out. I haven't had the time to check it out. It's a little bit pricey, but it has a very low resistance, so it'll like power much higher, I think. So yeah, check them out. Next one is from Smooth On. Thanks for posting this great tutorial.
Thank you. I think we're going to be using a lot more XTC 3D in the year.
Yeah, good stuff. Thank you, guys. Next one is from Simplify 3D. Awesome job, man.
Yeah, our favorite sightseeing software. I don't think we could have built this without your awesome work.
Oh, you're too kind, Pedro. You're too kind, man. You're too kind. You could use Kiro, but Simplify 3D. Just kidding. Aaron Smileyface. Does this work with the Pi Zero, the Touch Pi? I mean, it does. The circuit would work. You could totally swap out the circuit, but it's not gonna. The enclosure is designed specifically for the A+. So the USB ports, the mic, the headphone jack,
all of the adapters you're gonna need to get this to work.
Yeah, it'll fit, I think, but you're gonna have to modify it if you want it to take out some stuff. Yeah. But the circuit will work. So I think hopefully that answers your question. Thanks, Aaron. Next one is from Nobach. Why sand then filler instead of acetone on the Daft Punk helmet?
Yeah, so we're using regular PLA on this, and as you may know or may not know, acetone does not work on PLA.
What happens when
it just makes it turn chalky white? It
it doesn't
sort
actually
of melts
stick?
it. Yeah, it doesn't actually.
It doesn't do a good chemical bond.
No, what he's saying is why not smooth it out with the acetone? And
it doesn't smooth
on PLA, regular PLA, it does not. No.
How about PLA PHA?
I think it might. Some of the videos that we've been seeing we haven't tested this ourselves, but
We have seen
with PHA, PLA PHA, you are able to smooth it out.
Okay.
So we'll definitely try that out. But no, we couldn't do that because it was just regular PLA.
I think no matter what, sanding is the key element here to getting a very post-processing finish. If you check out Bill Doran and any other cosplayer, you're going to know that sanding is a big part of finishing.
Yeah, I just finished watching a video that we posted up on the blog today on getting transparent
lacquer
prints to shine, or to make it a lot more transparent. And of course it was wet sanding is the key ingredient there, then the lacquer.
Oh, so they're talking about their lacquer material there.
Yeah, that's after you sand. Sand is the key ingredient there. And started at a high grit, working your way down to, at a low grit, like, 80, 130, or 120, going all the way up to like 1,000. And
the year of sanding, folks.
So much elbow grease has to go into that.
Yeah, we might,
but
I don't know.
Yeah.
If time permits, we'll do more sanding. All right, thanks, Noe Bach. This is the last one from Johnny Way2. This is one of your best videos. Yeah, guys.
Yay.
Thank you.
Takes
the Daft Punk one was a nice one.
Forever. Yeah. Actually, finally just shipped out the helmet.
To Lamar, though?
Yeah.
I wonder if they wore it on Wednesday. I hope they wore it. If they wore
Thank you for the comment.
Awesome. Thank you, Johnny, Way, and everyone else who commented, and even the people who didn't make the comment thing. There's a lot of comments this week and last week, so I really appreciate it, guys. It makes our day when you comment. So that is going to be it
this week.
Nice long one. This is an hour long.
Wow.
All right.
Remember, you can still get or use coupon code Pixel Ears to get 10% off your order.
That's right.
Got lots of cool filaments, printers, and of course all of the electronic projects or products that make all of our projects possible.
That's right. We're going to leave you guys off with some links. Learn.adafruit.com. A lot of cool guides went up this week and last week. Got some stuff at the Google Plus. Got stuff all the time on the blog, sharing a lot of community makes and just cool projects in there in the community. Twitter, Instagram, Thingiverse is where me and Pedro hang out. Like if it's a place to hang out. All right, but the Lineage of Show starts off with Becky Stern's wearable electronics show.
I have to change this graphic pretty soon.
Yeah, she's celebrating 3 years. Yeah, it's on every Wednesday at 2 p.m. Eastern Time.
Get your wearable fix.
Yep. And then later in that evening is back-to-back show. We got first of all, it's just show and tell, the show and tell show for the Adafruit.
Stop by, we're always there with Lamar, Phil.
Yeah, it's a Google
Tony,
Hangout.
Phil B sometimes stops by.
Wednesday night at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time, and then shortly after that is 1 full hour of Lamar and Phil Ask an Engineer, Raspberry Pi, open source, Arduino, new products, and more. Adabot stops by too and says, "What's up, man?"
Yep. And sporadically throughout the week, the most awesome live electronic show with Lamar. From the desk of Lady Ada.
From the desk of Lady Ada.
Watch her fix electronics.
Design electronics.
Build all of the products.
Solder electronics. SMD soldering. So much good stuff. Tony was there.
The most
for
awesome.
the Internet of Things.
Yeah, they figured out how to build the product live on the air.
It's pretty dope.
Hook it up. Do all these web hooks to make light work.
Pretty dope. Good stuff, guys. Check it out. This is highlight is Lady Ada from Desk of Lady Ada. Okay, that's going to be it for us, guys. If you have any questions for next week, drop them down in the comment below. We'll be sure to gather them up for next week's show. But until then, Pedro, what do we say here?
We got to get back to printing. See you guys next week.
All right, guys. I'll see you next time. Great, Scott. Bye, guys. Thanks for watching.